60th birthday. Well, it's older than 60. Well, Statue of Liberty is older than 60.
Rocky Mountains are older than 60.
Yeah, 60's not so old.
Research we came with only 3 things in our house that were older than Mom. This antique churn, this rocking chair that was my grandmother's, and this christening gown that was Jim's great-grandmother. So that's everything that we have in this house that's older than Mom. Bye-bye.
Couldn't find anything around the house older than Ginny, but I did find a replica of something that would be older. This is a flintlock muzzle-loading rifle, something similar to the mountain men used back in the 1800s. I'd say that's older than Ginny.
Behind our new house are older than Mom.
You can imagine around the Lemancic household, it's not too difficult to find something that's 60 years old or perhaps older. For instance, this fan, this Westinghouse fan, it's a turn-of-the-century fan. It served my grandparents very well, and it continues to serve Laura and I very well today. It's withstood the test of time, and like many things that withstand the test of time, we pay tribute to them by saying they just don't make it like that anymore. It reminds me of my mother-in-law. They just don't make it like that anymore.
What is older than Nana?
This is a piece of petrified wood. It's 160 million years old. It's older than Mom.
Hey,
Dirt! Dirt's older than Nana, isn't it?
You know, this house was built 2 years before Mom was born. So there. This house is a little older than Mom. And sure, it's had some remodeling and repairs, but it's still standing. It's still in pretty good shape. Still providing warmth and security, just like a mom.
And to be 60, gets a little bit harder. But and I thought a while, but there's one very, very obvious thing older than you. It's me. I'm older than you are. Not any wiser, but a month older.
Say hi to Grandma Tessa. This is Mickey and Tessa saying hi from Hartford, home of the Kissel car, which is older than Mom.
Now, by golly, that's not quite as old as Nina Clock Tower, but it's getting pretty close.
Several years ago, Mom got on a kick of buying coffee cups for everyone with their name on it. She bought one for Mickey and Steve, and one for Chris, and one for Jeff, and one for Dawn, and one for Laura, and for all their spouses, and for other relatives in the family. But she couldn't find one with my name on it. She looked and looked and looked for months, but could never find one with Terry spelled the right way. Finally, she bought me a cup that said Leonard, after a book that I used to read when I was very little. So that story demonstrates 2 things about Mom. One, that she cares a lot about people and has things that are their very own. And 2, she's got a real sense of humor.
A long time ago, Mom took a cake decorating class. So every year on each of our birthdays, she would make a special birthday cake. One July, she was making a cake for my birthday, and it was so hot outside that it fell apart. So she made another cake, and that one fell apart. And she made another cake, and that one fell apart. She must have made 10 cakes that day just so that my birthday would be special. And we were eating cake until Christmas.
The one funny story that I remember about Mom was we were on our way to Washington, D.C., and we had stopped for the night at a motel. And it was a real hot day, so we were all out in the pool. And Dawn and Laura were goofing around and got near the deep end, and Laura slipped in, and then Dawn went in after her and realized she couldn't swim. So while we were all trying to go get them out, Mom was standing by the pool, and she did her typical freak out and ran over to the pool and jumped in the pool with her clothes on, and we all got a pretty good laugh out of that.
I like when I did eat the gummy bears and play with the toys.
Oh, do you like having hugs from her? Yep.
And jumping up in the air.
Oh.
What did you guys say? What did you guys say I needed? 2 dads. Okay, here it is. Terry's 52 cards.
What about this? 4? Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
That's all right. We won't
Anna and I'll do it together, right?
We used to play with flags all the time. What's wrong
You're
with
doing
that?
it because I needed need an extra person to help me.
Hi, Mom. Remember Chickadee? Chickadee. Chickadee was my favorite stuffed animal when I was little. Carrie had a little Czech stuffed animal too. Remember Dog Dog? Dog. Well, I loved Chickadee so much that I wore it out. And one day Mom came up to me and said, well, you know, you're getting older now and Chickadee's really worn out and it's time that Chickadee went away and you have to be brave. And I was really sad. I loved Chickadee and now Chickadee was gone, but I remembered Mom said I had to be brave, so I was brave. And pretty soon it was Christmas and I opened one of my presents and there was Chickadee. Mom made me a new Chickadee. I thought that was the sweetest thing anyone had done for me.
My favorite story about Mom is not really a recollection of a specific time or a specific place, but rather just a memory in general. And that is when I used to come home from school, or even these days when I come home from Iowa. Mom and I just start talking and Dad usually shushes us a couple times and while he's trying to listen to the news or falling asleep with his paper. But we just kind of talk in general about life, the good things that have happened, the bad things that have happened, just our philosophies in general. And after Dad telling us to be quiet a few more times, we usually head up to their bedroom and we sit on their bed. And we'd usually talk for half hour, however long it would take before Dad would come upstairs. And now Mike would join him walking upstairs, and basically Dad would have to kick us out of his bedroom if he was going to get any sleep that night. But we just sit on the bed and talk for hours, and it was so nice to have someone who I could confide in and who I could tell my hopes and my dreams to, and somebody who would always be there. Someday I hope to be a mom just like that. I love you, Mom. Thanks.
We're not gonna say anything.
Yeah, you know, we've only played one hand.
But,
We don't
okay,
get, we're gonna
okay.
be here till tomorrow.
Yeah, let's just go. I don't know. I opened with one club.
So many things that happened when we were kids. The funniest thing I can remember is we were supposed to kill a chicken. Tom or Jerry weren't around. And Mom says, I gotta have that chicken killed because I gotta make soup for Sunday. She always made chicken soup every Sunday. And so we were supposed to kill this chicken. And so we tied a rope around its neck and you were supposed to pull the rope. And I was gonna take the axe and chop this chicken's head off. And the first time I chopped the rope instead of the chicken's head. And you were so mad because we had to start over. We had tied a rope on the chicken. And then when I did finally cut the head off, it was jumping all around with the blood squirting, and so we both ran away screaming. And this chicken's running around with no head on, jumping all over the. That was the goofiest thing. That was the only time we ever killed a chicken.
Going down the hill, going on the submarine, playing in the sand pile.
Where's the?
Now what time is it anyway?
25 to 3, I don't have much time.
3 o'clock in the morning. How many hands have we played?
Knowing you and doing things with you, and we go way back to bowling. And I can remember when you would get 76 and I'd beat you with a 58. But we're really happy to be with you in our Bible study, and you're one of the nicest people that we know.
Yes, happy birthday, Jenny. I do remember a comment we made in bowling at one time. What's the old comment? It's hard to fly like an eagle when all you have to work with is a turkey. Well, we're all turkeys, but we love you.
We have played 4 hands, though.
I know, what time? That's pretty darn good, but we've got 6 to go, you guys.
Well, that's all right, we'll just make up.
Let's just make up the rest. Okay, let's just make up the scores.
But we won't
Should
win a
make
prize.
up the
Yeah,
scores?
let's just make up.
Okay.
Things that are funny in retrospect. I remember the time when you were affiliated at Mendota, and we had taken your roommate Anita into Madison for the evening. We were supposed to pick her up and bring her home, get in by midnight, or get curfewed. She wasn't there, so we left without her. And then when you were trying to get in, you wanted to cover for her. You made up some kind of a weak excuse as to why she wasn't with us. And then you got caught sneaking in the window when you found out she was already there. Not too funny then, but when you look back now and realize that you were covering for your roommate and you were the guy that got caught. But other than that, when I think of you, honey, in all these years, it's not funny things I think about. I think of the wonderful, wonderful times. What a great, you don't like me to say this ever, but what a wonderful, one-of-a-kind person in the world you are. And how fortunate I feel just to have known you, loved you, been married to you, and look back on all the wonderful things of the past, look on today with all the kids here, and the wonderful time we're having right now, and looking forward to the wonderful time we'll have in the future. So my big message is just, I love you so and always will.